والأخوات، مرحبا بكم إلى الدرس اللغة العربية لغة الجنة. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers and welcome to our Learn Arabic show. Right, so in the previous sessions we have been discussing about the past tense which we have completed. We moved on to the present tense and we also looked at a poem on Hazrat Abbas, and I said that I'll be continuing with those vocabularies from the poem in our today's session. So I'll just be listing down the vocabularies from that poem that we had covered, and then we can move on with the fi'lul mudari, just to the few pronouns that that are remaining. So first I'll list down all the the vocabularies from the poem. So these are the vocabularies. Last time I had given you 19 vocabularies. Now we'll be looking at some more vocabularies. So we have the word nashiduk. So we have nashiduki. Okay. Now nashiduki, okay, it comes from the noun. This comes from the noun nasheed. You all know what nasheeds are. Nasheeds are the poems, right? Okay, so this comes from the word nasheed. And of course, you notice that there is an addition that has taken place, right? Now the addition here is at the end, which is the letter ki, right? Now this is actually a suffix. Of course, we'll be learning about the suffix, right? Now this ki actually means your, okay, if I want to say that something is yours, right? So this means, nasheed means poem, but when I say nashiduki, I mean your poem, okay? So this means your poem, okay? And ki, if I say ki, it's referring to female. So I'm talking to a female, I'm saying yours, I'm referring to female. I'm talking to a female saying your poem. But if I want to refer to a masculine, I will say, instead of ki, I will say nashiduka. Nashiduka, your masculine poem, right? Nashiduki, I'm referring to feminine. So these are the suffixes. Of course, we'll be learning about these suffixes. Last time I had explained you about the ya. For example, if I say, instead of nashiduki, if I say, nashidi, for example, okay? Instead of nashiduki, I say nashidi. This means my poem, okay? So the ya here denotes something that is mine, okay? This is also a suffix which denotes possession, something belonging to me. So this means actually my poem, okay? Nashiduki, my poem, something that is referring to me. So if I say nashidi, my poem, nashiduki, your feminine poem, I'm referring to female, nashiduka, your poem, referring to masculine, okay? So this was one of the vocabularies from the poem, right? So that was nashiduki, okay? Then we had shuja'un, okay? We had shuja'un, right? Shuja' means courageous, okay? Someone who's very brave, you know, shuja'un, okay? That means courageous, okay? Then we have idbarun, okay? Now idbarun is actually a type of a plural. It's in a plural form, it's not singular, and of course this will come under one of the 15 categories of the broken plural. It will come under one of the 15 categories of the jam'ul mukassir, idbar. Idbar means backs, okay? So this is actually going to come under the Jam'ul Mukassir. Idbarun, which means backs. Of course, it falls under the category of if'al, which we will be looking at when we are going to be discussing about the plural. So we have idbar, okay? Then we have harbun. Harbun means war, right? So you notice the actual meaning of war in Arabic, the literal meaning of war is harbun, okay? So you know when people say jihad means holy war, jihad does not mean holy war, because if you're trying to say jihad, if you want to say holy war in Arabic, you would say harbul aqdas. Harbul aqdas means the holy war. You know, aqdas comes from the word Quddus, you know, in Allah's names, Quddus, the holy, right? So if I want to say holy war, so I will say harbul aqdas. And people have misinterpreted the meaning of jihad. The meaning of jihad is not holy war. The meaning of jihad, jihad comes from the word jahada. Jahada is the one who struggles. Remember in the poem of Hazrat Ali Asghar, I was like, Ya ayyuhal mujahid. Okay, mujahid is the fa'il, is the doer. The one who struggles is called a mujahid. And jahada means to struggle. So jihad is actually a type of struggle, that, you know, that struggle fighting with your own nafs, okay, from your desires. So the actual, if I were to translate holy war in Arabic, it would mean like harbul aqdas, and that is grammatically wrong, okay? So the actual meaning of war in Arabic is not jihad, but it is harb. Harb means war, okay? Then we have Haydar. Okay, now there are many meanings, there are many synonyms for the word Haydar. So I'll need to rub this off. So just one more time. Nashiduki, your poem. Shuja'un, courageous, okay? Idbarun, backs, okay? You can also say duburun, but most people prefer to use idbar. Then we have harbun, war. Then we have the word haydara, okay? Haydara. Haydara means lion, okay? Now haydara has more than one meaning. It does not only mean lion, okay? Haydara, the synonym for the word haydara we have is qaswara, okay? So you can also say qaswara, right? So the synonym of the word haydara is qaswara, and the synonym again for qaswara, instead of saying qaswara, you can say layth. Yeah, you can say laythun. Okay, and all of them mean lion. They all have the same meaning. Right. If you want to know qaswara, you will find it in the Quran. You will find the word qaswara in the Quran. This word qaswara, you will find it in surah number 74. It's Surah Al-Mudaththir, surah number 74, verse number 55. And of course, you'll also see the translation. Qaswara is translated as lion. If you open your Qurans to chapter 74, verse number 51, sorry. So it's translated as lion. So I can say haydara, I can say qaswara, I can say laythun. All of them mean lion, okay? Then we have the word sayfu. Okay, sayfun. Right, so we have the word sayfun. Sayfun means sword. You know, Hazrat Abbas in the battlefield, he fought without a sword. Okay, he fought his enemies without the sword. So he fought bila sayfun, without a sword. And then what happened? The idbar, the backs of his enemies, of his a'daik, of his enemies broke. Right? So sayfun means sword. Right? Now, don't confuse, because sayfun means sword, but there is another which is sayfun, and that is with a swad. So you will have another which is soifun. But this here is with a swad. Okay, so this is seifun and this is soifun. Now this soif means summer. Okay, the summer. So do not confuse between the two, and of course the way you pronounce it would also be different. Then we have sobiyu. Okay, so then we have sobiyu means infant. Okay, of course I can also say tiflun. Tiflun means child, masculine child. If I say tiflatun, I mean feminine child. But sobiyu is for both. And of course, sobiyu is more eloquent. You know, it looks more elegant and more eloquent in a poem. You know, in a poem, if I say tiflun or tiflatun, it's not as eloquent as the word sobiyu. So if you want to use words, vocabularies for composing a poem or for composing an article or writing, try to make your writing a little more eloquent, a little more sweet to read, right? So sobiyu means infant. Of course, I can say tiflun or tiflatun. Okay, so this was the vocabularies for today. Of course, we have finished with all the vocabularies from the poem. Haydara, Qaswara, Layth, all mean lion. Qaswara, you will find it in Surah Al-Mudaththir, verse number 51. It's also translated as lion. Saif means sword. Soifun means summer. Then we have Sabiyu, which means infant. Right, now today we're going to continue now with the Fi'lul Mudari. The reason why I'm stressing a lot on these tenses, the reason why I'm stressing a lot on the Fi'lul Mudari is because gets a little more confusing. So that's why I saw the need to revise this more, and so that it's not confusing, because when you're conversing or trying to, you know, compose sentences, you know, on the tip of your tongue, you need to know these tenses. These tenses are very important, right? So, fi'lul mudari, of course, which is fi'lul mudari, of course, which is the present tense. So we have looked at mostly all of the pronouns. Today we will be looking at the pronouns antunna. So we have antunna, and then we'll also be looking at hunna. Okay, so you all know what the meaning of antunna is. Okay, antunna means you all. Okay, you, feminine. Am I referring to wahid? No. Ithnan? No. Thalatha and more. 3 or more. So you, 3 or more, female. And hunna is they. Okay, hunna is they, female, 3 or more. So you see how Arabic is so specific. If I just say in English they, I could be referring to masculine or I could be referring to feminine. No one will know if I just say they. Okay, but if I say hunna in Arabic, it's specific. If I say hunna, I'm referring to they, female. Okay, if I say hum, I'm referring to they, masculine. It's very specific. Arabic is very specific, not like English or any other language. I can just say they, I could be referring to masculine, I could be referring to feminine. So hunna and antunna. Now say for example, I have the root verb kataba. Okay, so kataba is my root verb, which means he wrote, right? So if I want to change it into antunna, okay? If I want to change it into antunna, of course, I'll be having additions. Additions at the beginning and at the end. So at the beginning, my addition, okay, will be a ta. Okay? My addition will be a ta. a ta with an accusative, and at the end my addition will be a noon with an accusative. And as for here at the beginning, my addition will be a ya, and at the end my addition will be again noon with an accusative. So now you notice the difference, right? Here at the end both the additions are the same, okay, but at the beginning the additions are different. Here I have a ya with an accusative, and here I have ta with an accusative. Now I want to apply this to my root verb here being kataba, okay? So I want to say you know, or you female wrote. I mean you female write. Of course it's fi'lul mudari present tense, right? So it's going to be translated into the results will be taktubna. Okay, taktubna means you all female write. Taktubna. So what have I done? At the beginning I have added a ta with an accusative. At the end I have added a noon with an accusative. So you all female write taktubna. What about hunna? Okay, for hunna it will be the same thing. The only difference is it's ya. Okay, so it's going to become yaktubna. Okay, so taktubna and yaktubna. One last example, say I have the word jalasa. My root verb say now is jalasa. That's my root verb. My root verb jalasa, he sat, right? So if I want to convert it into you female sat, you mudhakkar sat, you muannath sat, right? Antunna. So it's going to be ta with a jim. So it will be tajlisna, right? Okay, so antunna tajlisna. What about hunna? Hunna yajlisna. Okay, so we have antunna tajlisna, hunna yajlisna. Okay, last example, say I have la'iba. Say my root verb is la'iba. Okay, so then antunna it will be tal'abna, and hunna will be yal'abna. Okay, so I have yal'abna. Okay, so hunna yal'abna and antunna tal'abna. Of course, so this is what I wanted to cover today, just these two pronouns. And now let's do just a short revision of all the pronouns that we have covered, okay? So it's more easy for you to remember. Just a very quick revision on what we had done. Right. So we had covered the pronouns ana. We had done ana. We had done huwa. We had done hiya. We had done, and hiya, remember what I said about hiya? Hiya will follow the same trend as what pronoun? As the pronoun anta. So hiya and anta will follow the same trend. Okay, hiya anta and nahnu. So we said that these pronouns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 pronouns, okay, will only have additions at the beginning, okay? And what could the additions be? The additions could be alif with a dhamma, with of course an accusative and a hamza there. We said another addition could be a ta. We said another addition could be a ya, okay? And of course finally we said another addition could be a noon. All right, so for these 5 pronouns, these are the additions. And where are these additions taking place? all of them taking place at the beginning, right? So say I have ana. Ana, the addition for ana will be alif, hamza, and an accusative. So I can say ana aktubu. Ana aktubu. Huwa yaktubu. So the addition is ya. So I have huwa yaktubu. Okay, then what about hiya and anta will be the same. Both of them will have ta. Okay, so I can say hiya or anta taktubu. And nahnu will take the noon. Nahnu naktubu. Okay, so I have ana aktubu, huwa yaktubu, hiya taktubu, anta taktubu, and nahnu naktubu. Okay, so this is what we had done, and then we moved on to antum and anti. What did we say about antum and anti? We have anti, we have antum. Anti and antum. What did we say about these two pronouns? We said that the addition will be taking place only at the beginning. No, we said the addition will be taking place at the beginning and at the end, right? So for example, say, let's take the same root verb kataba. So kataba, at the beginning I'll add here, at the beginning, what will I add? Ta. At the end, what will I add? Ya, sakin with noon. So kataba will become anti taktubina. Okay, taktubi. Okay, so I have anti taktubina. And what about antum? Antum, at the beginning, of course, the same addition will be ta with a fatha. However, at the end, it will be different. It will be waw, sakin with noon. So it's going to be into taktubuna, right? So antum taktubuna, antum taqra'una, antum tahijjuna, antum tanzuruna, antum taf'aluna, antum tajlisuna. Okay, antum ta'kuluna. What about anti? Anti taktubina, anti tajlisina, anti taqra'ina. Okay, anti ta'kulina. So this is how it's going to follow the trend. And of course, then we discussed the pronouns today, right? So we come to the end of our session. Of course, in our next session, we'll finish with the few last pronouns that are left. I want to just finish them up, and then we can proceed with the other topics. I hope you are doing more for revision on this fi'lul mudhari, and of course, not forgetting the past tense as well. So, وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.